Good morning and welcome to this week's episode of Coffee and Cabinets. I am your host, kitchen and bath designer, Jordan Thomes. This morning I am drinking an iced cinnamon toast crunch latte. On this week's episode, I'm going to walk you through a little bit of how to best pair your cabinet choice with your countertop choice. We'll go over everything from what you're looking for out of function all the way to aesthetics, so stay tuned and see what we have to offer. For our first cabinet and countertop pair, we are going to start on the more traditional side. The cabinet choice that we have here is a slightly decorative flat panel door, so we do have the flat panel in the center, but then we do have a little bit of a decorative edge around the outside of the door, as well as a little bit of a bevel on the inside of the stiles and rails. This is in a dark, rich stain on maple wood, so it is a very classic and traditional choice for a kitchen. We have paired this door with our Luna Pearl Granite, which is one of our most popular natural stones by far. The Luna Pearl has a very classic granite look, so when you think of granite countertops in a traditional kitchen, often what you envision is something like Luna Pearl. The nice point of Luna Pearl is that it has a little bit of every color palette, so it matches any aesthetic choice you might be going for. We do have the light grays and almost white tones in here, as well as we do have some of the taupey spots and some of our dots and chips here. So whether you are having your chocolate brown door with maybe some stainless steel or brushed nickel hardware, that'll pull from both palettes here in the Luna Pearl stone. Our next cabinet and countertop pair is a little bit on the lighter side. Here on our door sample, we have a really rich red stain. This is actually called Sahara, and this is on a cherry cabinet door, so it will by nature, of course, have a little bit more red tint to it because of the cherry wood. We have some, again, decorative beading on the inside of the stiles and rails leading into the flat center panel, as well as this extra bit of detail running around the outside. So it is still very traditional, however, you don't have the extra decoration of the raised panel in the center. And we have paired this door with our Santa Cecilia granite, which again has a very classic granite look. You get all of the variations of the natural stone, you get the extra little pockets of decoration throughout, but this one is a lot more consistent than some granites, so you're going to see this pretty consistently throughout a full slab. But this Santa Cecilia, similar to the Luna Pearl, has a lot of different color palettes in it, so it's very easy to pair with any hardware, tile backsplashes or cabinet doors. This particular Santa Cecilia does have a lot of the golden yellow hue to it, so it pairs perfectly with the Sahara stain on our cherry door. For our last stained cabinet door option, I have here a much simpler option. This is a maple door with a very light buckskin stain. We have a little bit of a bevel on the interior of the stiles and rails, and we do just have a simple 90-degree outside. So it is a very simple door. This would be considered a transitional combination because while you do get a lot of the traditional elements out of the stain and the character of the wood, you do get a little bit more of a modern touch from the simplicity of the door as well as the stone. We paired this particular door option here with a quartz. So you have a very true white background and you have little bits of subtle veining throughout, but then you do also have bolder veins that run throughout the piece as well to give you more of a contrast and a little bit more of a bold pattern. For our fourth pair, we are moving into painted cabinets. So we do have here our most popular shade of gray. This is called Cloud, and it's a very simple medium gray paint. Again, like our last option, we do have a much simpler door style, so we have that flat center panel with just a little bit of a bevel on the interior. Now we've paired this medium gray with a much bolder choice of quartz. We have here a dark, deep gray with bright white veining running throughout. So this is actually an inverse of what most people think of when they think of a marble pattern or when they are looking for a quartz that looks like a natural stone. We have the inverse, and instead of a dark vein with a light background, we actually have that dark background with a light vein. This would play very well with a lot of different shades of backsplash tile and hardware. And again, this is a little bit more on the transitional side because you do have some modern components as far as the look of the stone and the painted finish and of course that simple door, but this isn't quite to the level of a contemporary kitchen design, so we do have a little bit more room to play with decoration. This cabinet and countertop pair is our most contemporary of the day. So we have here as you'll see, a completely flat slab cabinet option. This particular is a standard eggshell finish white. However, these doors do come in a high gloss finish for a very contemporary look, a lot more popular in European design or in major metropolitan areas. But we have paired our white slab door with a granite choice, and this granite is called Nero Mist. So you get a very rich, deep black background with subtle white veining and patterning throughout. So this provides a really contemporary look, and you also get the durability of granite where you don't have to worry about heat, things like that. It's very durable, but it provides a really nice aesthetic benefit for this contemporary design. Our last cabinet and countertop pairing here is for a little bit more fun and whimsical design. So we have here a very light, subdued shade of green on this cabinet. We have a little bit of decorative beading on the interior of the door, so we do get a little bit more decoration than, say, a traditional shaker or a slab door. But this shade of green, by escalating the color, you get a lot more visual interest without having to change or add any extra decoration in the actual cabinet style. Now we've paired this shade of green with this gorgeous multi-dimensional quartz. So in this particular quartz, you get a lot of pattern in the background that's very subtle, but then you do get in the forefront some really bold veining running throughout, and then a little bit more subtle veining throughout in another shade of gray. So this particular quartz has a very expansive palette, and you do even have little spots where you get little pops of taupe, so you aren't stuck to a very cold color design, but you're also not stuck to something exclusively warm. So this is a very flexible stone if you maybe want to incorporate a little bit more color and decoration into your design. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of Coffee and Cabinets. Next week we'll be talking a little bit about countertop application and where in your home certain types of countertops will fit best. We'll go over indoor applications as well as even outdoor applications. Don't forget, Ivo is still offering our $50,000 kitchen or bath giveaway, so stop down into the showroom to enter, or you can also enter on our website at ivocabinets.com. I hope to see you next week.